and often say we care more about our faces, our boobs, our bellies, and our butts than we do our brains.
Meet Dr. Daniel Gregory Amen, a renowned American psychiatrist and brain disorder specialist. He founded Change Your Brain Foundation, BrainMD, and Amen University. Dr. Amen's research on PTSD and traumatic brain injury, where he emphasizes caring for the brain, was recognized by Discover magazine as one of the top 100 science stories of 2015. In this video, Dr. Daniel Amen will reveal the 5 worst habits that cause dementia. Although some of these habits are what we enjoy doing, they can affect sensory functions, which could result in dementia over time. But that's not all. We'll also share practical tips that can help boost brain health. So make sure you stick around until the end.
It is so important that we really understand Alzheimer's disease has many different causes, just like depression has many different causes.
Before we dive into the list of 5 worst habits that cause dementia, let's discuss dementia itself. What is it all about? Dementia refers to a group of conditions that lead to cognitive decline, memory loss, and difficulty with thinking, often disrupting a person's daily life. It's closely linked to brain disorders, with Alzheimer's disease being the most common cause. Since these conditions can progressively damage the brain, it's super important to be aware of the habits that may increase the risk of dementia. So, without further ado, let's explore some of the worst habits that contribute to dementia, starting with heavy sugar consumption. Did you know that sugar is a common part of our diets, especially in processed foods, sodas, and fruit juices? But what's even more alarming is the long-term damage it can cause to the brain. Consuming large amounts of sugar over time, especially refined sugar, can lead to memory loss and cognitive decline. Here's how it works. When you eat a lot of sugar, your brain responds by releasing insulin, the hormone that helps cells absorb glucose, which is the brain's main energy source. However, if you consistently overload your system with sugar, your brain can become resistant to insulin. This resistance makes it harder for your brain to use glucose effectively, essentially starving it of the energy it needs to function properly. In fact, research published by the National Institute of Health found that an increase in sugar levels can heighten the risk of dementia.
What's bad about sugar for the brain?
Pro-inflammatory.
What does that
It
mean?
makes you diabetic.
But I mean, as it relates to the brain, why is like orange juice or the ice cream bad for my brain?
Because it's ultimately going to give you high blood sugar levels, which erode your blood vessels, and you're going to have lower blood flow to your brain. That's a bad thing. I mean, there's so many things about it. So it's addictive, it's pro-inflammatory, it makes it more likely you're going to have diabetes and obesity. So 72% of Americans are overweight, 42% are obese.
Dr. Amen explains that frequent spikes in blood sugar can lead to inflammation and oxidative stress in the brain, which are 2 factors that play a major role in neurodegeneration. Over time, this can contribute to the development of amyloid plaques, a key indicator of Alzheimer's disease, which is one of the leading causes of dementia. Past research has also shown that diets high in added sugars are linked to an increased risk of memory impairment. But the damage from excessive sugar intake goes beyond just the brain's structure. It also affects its chemistry. High sugar consumption for a long time can shrink the hippocampus, the brain region responsible for learning. So, if you're often forgetting simple things like where you left your keys, it might not just be a minor memory lapse. You could be setting yourself up for early cognitive decline.
The only thing they got wrong was orange juice. They put it in the healthy category when, in fact, when is it rational to unwrap fruit sugar from its fiber source? Because it turns toxic in your body. So I'm not a fan of fruit juice. I'm a fan of fruit, not fruit juice.
Dr. Amen also emphasizes the importance of choosing whole fruits over fruit juice, because whole fruits contain both natural sugars and fiber. The fiber slows down the absorption of sugar, preventing harmful blood sugar spikes that can strain your body. In contrast, fruit juice separates the sugar from the fiber, leading to faster sugar absorption and potential negative effects. Therefore, reducing sugar intake isn't just about losing weight. It's essential for protecting brain health. By opting for whole fruits and cutting back on sugar, you can help keep your brain functioning optimally for years to come. Before we continue, please note that this content is for informational purposes only and is not intended to replace professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult with a qualified healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet or taking new supplements. The next worst habit for dementia Dr. Amen revealed is excessive caffeine consumption. Caffeine is a daily go-to for many people, providing a quick energy boost. However, consuming more than 100 milligrams a day, roughly 1 cup of coffee, can negatively affect brain function. Listen carefully to what Dr. Amen has to say about it.
Do you think there's correlation or a link between caffeine consumption and a shrinking brain?
Yes.
And a shrinking brain, is that associated with things like dementia?
Aging brain. I don't think there's a connection. I haven't read any research that says there's a connection between caffeine and dementia. There's a connection with sleep problems, and there's a connection with sleep problems and dementia. I think if you have like 100 milligrams a day of caffeine, it's probably fine. But one venti Starbucks coffee has got 330 milligrams of caffeine. And people just aren't thinking about the level of caffeine they're having in it.
Did you know that caffeine directly affects our sleep patterns, which can increase the risk of developing dementia? It blocks adenosine, a neurotransmitter responsible for promoting relaxation. While caffeine helps to keep you alert, frequent caffeine consumption overstimulates the nervous system, leading to an imbalance. Over time, this interference with the brain's natural self-repair processes can impact memory and cognitive function. A study published by the National Institute of Health suggests that long-term excessive caffeine intake can disrupt brain connectivity and neural pathways. What's more alarming is that consuming large amounts of caffeine can reduce the brain's gray matter, which plays a role in muscle control. Another study found that after just a few days of high caffeine consumption, participants showed a noticeable reduction in gray matter, affecting key regions of the brain involved in cognition. Caffeine can make it harder for your brain to stay flexible, meaning it's tougher to process new information and adapt to change. This loss of flexibility can lead to early signs of dementia. While a little caffeine can have some perks, drinking more than 100 milligrams a day can put your brain's health in danger as time goes on. Up next, let's talk about how loneliness and a sedentary lifestyle can cause dementia and worsen brain health. But before we proceed, if you're looking to dive deeper into how diet can protect your brain and boost your overall health, be sure to subscribe to the QuickTime newsletter linked below. Each week, we share expert-backed tips, delicious recipes, and actionable steps to help you live longer and feel your best, delivered right to your inbox. In today's fast-paced world, many people lead sedentary and isolated lives, spending long hours sitting at desks or lounging on the couch. This lifestyle can have serious effects on brain health, as both inactivity and loneliness contribute to cognitive decline and increase the risk of dementia.
And then, this is where the US government got an F for the pandemic, loneliness accelerates dementia and brain problems. And so when they isolated us, the whole significant increase in brain problems. So get connected to other people.
A sedentary and lonely lifestyle affects the body in several ways, especially by disrupting circulation and reducing blood flow to the brain. Regular physical activity is essential for keeping blood flowing properly, which supplies the brain with the oxygen and nutrients it needs to function well. According to research, those who engage in minimal physical activity or sedentary lifestyle are at a higher risk of developing dementia. A sedentary lifestyle paired with loneliness creates the ideal conditions for cognitive decline. Inactivity and social isolation can increase inflammation, damage brain cells, and contribute to neurodegenerative diseases. To protect your brain, stay socially connected and make regular exercise part of your routine. These simple actions can make a huge difference for your brain health. The fourth worst habit that contributes to dementia is excessive screen time and scrolling.
People want to know, does screen time, this generation that have grown up 11 hours a day on a screen or social media, up to 11 hours a day, according to some studies, does that have an impact on our brain?
It does. It shrinks it. It's sad. I mean, what it does is it wears out your pleasure centers. So you have these two areas in your brain called the nucleus accumbens, and they respond to dopamine. And they bring you happiness, and they bring you pleasure, and they bring you motivation, and they bring you drive. And when you're hitting them, like every buzz on your phone, every notification, every time you scroll and you like something, you just got a little hit of dopamine. Well, the more you do it, pretty soon, you thrill them to death. You begin to wear out those pleasure centers.
No doubt, we live in a world where screens are everywhere, and many of us spend hours glued to our devices. While technology offers many benefits, excessive screen time can harm brain health. Here's the catch. High screen time often contributes to a sedentary lifestyle, resulting in long periods of sitting. This inactivity can shrink the brain, negatively affecting cognitive function over time. Spending long hours in front of a screen, whether watching a TV series or using your phone, can increase the risk of developing dementia. Research shows that individuals who spend more than 4 hours a day on screens experience significantly worse cognitive function than those who limit their screen time. In addition, constantly scrolling through social media can be particularly harmful as it fosters a habit of seeking instant gratification. This overstimulation can lead to attention deficits, creating a cycle of distraction that makes it harder to focus on more meaningful activities. Heavy social media use is equally associated with increased anxiety, depression, and lower life satisfaction, both of which can negatively affect mental health. To fight against the harmful effects of too much screen time, getting outside and doing activities like exercising and reading can help protect your brain and improve your overall well-being. The fifth worst habit on our list is inappropriate anxiety.
And inappropriate anxiety can be too much or too little. Fascinating study from Stanford. They looked at 1,542 10-year-old children in 1921. And then Lewis Terman, who started this study, followed them. And then after he died, other researchers followed them for 90 years, looking at what goes with success, health, and longevity. And it wasn't happiness. And it wasn't don't worry. In fact, the don't worry, be happy people died the earliest from accidents and preventable illnesses. The people who lived the longest were conscientious. They said they were going to show up. They showed up on time, consistently, predictably. They lived the longest. So you need some anxiety.
According to Dr. Amen, while it's okay to worry sometimes, excessive anxiety about situations significantly affects brain health and increases the risk of dementia. When you experience heightened levels of stress, maybe over the outcome of a job interview you had, the body releases cortisol and other stress hormones, which when persistent can lead to inflammation and damage in the brain. Research has shown that chronic anxiety can shrink the hippocampus. And according to Science Direct, a leading scientific research website, individuals with high levels of anxiety have a greater tendency to develop cognitive decline later in life. Excessive anxiety can cause you to avoid social situations and neglect healthy habits, leading to further cognitive decline. Additionally, worrying too much can result in memory problems. This ongoing anxiety can create a vicious cycle as anxiety leads to avoidance, which reduces participation in mentally stimulating activities that are essential for your brain health. Having discussed the 5 worst habits that can lead to dementia, let's now explore 5 helpful tips you can adopt to enhance your cognitive abilities and improve your overall brain function. Number 5, regular exercise. As mentioned earlier, exercising is one of the most effective ways to support brain health, as it promotes the growth of new neurons. According to the Alzheimer's Society, engaging in regular exercise can reduce the risk of developing dementia by up to 20%. Aerobic activities, such as walking or cycling, are particularly beneficial for enhancing memory and brain flexibility. So aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise each week to see improvements in your cognitive function. Number 4, balanced diet. A balanced diet is one of the most effective ways to enhance your brain health. And consuming foods rich in antioxidants and omega-3 fatty acids can significantly benefit your cognitive function. Research conducted by Dr. Martha Claire Morris, a nutritional epidemiologist, found that individuals who moderately adhere to the MIND diet can lower their risk of developing Alzheimer's by 35%. Those who strictly follow the diet can equally reduce their risk by an impressive 50%. The MIND diet includes a variety of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, fish, and healthy fats like olive oil. A nutrient-rich diet not only improves cognitive function and supports memory retention, but also helps protect against neurodegenerative diseases. Number 3, mental stimulation. Did you know that mentally stimulating activities can help preserve brain function and delay the onset of dementia? A study published by the National Institute of Health found that older individuals who engage in activities like puzzles, reading, and learning new skills have a lower risk of cognitive decline. Furthermore, social engagement and intellectual hobbies can enhance problem-solving skills and improve memory. By incorporating these activities into your daily routine, you can effectively safeguard your brain against dementia in the long term. Number 2, social engagement. Social connections are essential for maintaining maximum brain function. As mentioned earlier, loneliness and social isolation have been linked to increased risk of dementia. So it's important to stay socially active as it stimulates the brain, improves mood, and reduces stress, all of which contribute to cognitive health. Number 1, quality sleep. Sleep is a powerful restorative process that is super important for brain health. While we sleep, the brain works to clear out toxins and strengthen memories. So consistently getting poor sleep can lead to cognitive problems, mood disturbances, and memory loss. To support your brain effectively, aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. We've discussed 5 harmful habits that can contribute to dementia, along with 5 actionable tips to boost your brain health. However, even with good habits, you might be overlooking an essential factor that can enhance your brain function: the MIND diet. This diet is designed to help prevent Alzheimer's and dementia. So watch this next video to learn how to incorporate the MIND diet into your meals for better brain function and an overall happier, healthier you.